wishing to impact and change people's lives towards sustainable independence. This by influencing people not to lose hope, but to build modern communities and claim their place and space in all spheres of life through information, empowerment, skills development, and providing the necessary resources. They have worked on quite a number of projects that have positively impacted on people's lives, and these include Adopt a Family. Now, for more on the organization, we're joined by the founder of Modern Centric Holdings, Zakhele Mgobhozi. Zakhele, a very good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning, Simpiwe, and good morning to the Morning Live viewers.
Zakhele, how did you manage to have the strength to continue with life after a life-threatening event that happened to you?
Simpiwe, before I answer that question, basically, I would like to lay a bit of context. What is this life-threatening situation? So I come with years of experience in recruitment, and back then when I was doing recruitment and focusing on the youth development portfolio, it was well and good, all the time, I'm placing people and you see them 2 years later, they are working as managers and they are working as supervisors. It was good because there was growth, there was sustainability, but I'll be very honest with you, I literally in a way got bored a bit and I wanted to do something different. I wanted to create change. I wanted to create other sustainable solution. But unfortunately, when I was going through that change and wanting something more, I got involved in an unfortunate incident where I got involved in an accident that got me into a coma for a period of 6 months. Sure. And you can imagine when I got out of the coma, I could not speak, I could not walk, I could not talk, I could not do anything for myself. So you can imagine the therapy sessions that I had to go for, speech therapy, physiotherapy. So when I went back to work, I then realized that it's actually very, very tough for persons with disability to actually maneuver around the workplace. So through the years of going through therapy sessions, I'm proud to say I'm able to walk again. I'm able to be normal like anyone else. I'm able to speak properly with just a minor speech impairment. But the only reason I'll say it's really, really motivated me and gave me the passion to go through this was my mother. My mother supported me throughout. She supported me throughout. She actually made me believe that, I still got life and I still got purpose to basically do something in this world.
And how difficult was the transition from being able-bodied to being disabled at that particular moment was for you? And what are some of the lessons that you learned from that experience?
For me, the most important thing was when I went back to work and then realized how ill-prepared corporate South Africa is for persons with disability. I remember when, there's fire drills, everyone is out and then they forget that actually there's a candidate that we need to push out of the wheelchair and things like that. So I realized that, it's actually really, really, really tough for persons with disability to maneuver around the workplace and how ill-prepared, of course, corporate South Africa is when it comes to the employment and the workforce of persons with disability in the workplace.
Okay. And where does the passion to help the community, especially the people living with disabilities, come from?
So it's basically from my history, of course, that I've shared earlier.
Yes.
In the programs that we have worked on as a company, I'm proud to tell you that, we've specialized more on the sustainable solutions and the employability of persons with disability. So in what we've been doing, we've been working with communities in terms of going to communities and seeing exactly what are the challenges in terms of employability. But we've also realized one thing, Simpiwe. We've also realized that, it's really, really difficult for persons with disability to maneuver around the workplace in terms of getting employability. So what we've also done as a company is to make sure that, we create sustainable solutions of creating employment for persons with disability. And how do we do that? How we did it is that we went through a solution of creating work readiness program, employability program. Those programs have really, really helped us as a company to make sure that we are creating solutions for corporate South Africa in terms of transitioning persons with disability. So those are just one of the biggest programs that I love, and it's very, very close to my heart.
And you lament that corporate South Africa is not yet ready to deal and accommodate employees with, living with disabilities. So what is it that can be done to ensure that workplaces, educational facilities and so on are in a good space to accommodate those people living with disabilities?
Simply, it's very easy. If corporate South Africa, the first thing that they need to look at accessibility, if they want to go through programs of employing persons with disability, are their buildings ready? Are they ready to accommodate with persons with disability? When we look at the building itself, when you look at the ramps, going inside the building, when you look at the lighting as well, when you look at the facilities like the bathrooms, it's actually said that in nowadays, as we are speaking today, there's still corporates out there that don't even have toilets for persons with disability. So we still got a long way, but if South Africa is really, really ready to create inclusion, definitely it can happen.
One of the current stories involves Lufuna Mavunga, who committed suicide and will be laid to rest today. And it's absolutely no doubt, Zakhele, that people living with disabilities do face bullying, especially children. So are there any programs out there that cater to people living with disabilities that are being bullied?
Simpiwe, that story still gets to me. Before I answer that question, I also just want to mention something. Charity begins at home. It's also about parents, teaching their kids, on how to treat each other. So it's also because, everyone, children will repeat what they've been taught at home. So it also depends on us as parents, to make sure that we treat our children with respect, we treat our children with love. We are very, very careful on how we speak to each other around our kids. But to go back to your questions, there's organizations like Childline South Africa. That organization mainly focuses on the child, especially bullying in schools. And I'll basically say, if there is a child out there who's going through such, I'll definitely direct them to Childline South Africa. They work differently. What I love about them is that you don't have to call them. And we are approaching a world, where it's technology. We are approaching a world where it's easier to chat, it's easier to communicate with other organizations, especially for help. Yes. So with Childline South Africa, the most thing that I love about it is that you can literally do a text and they will call you back. If you don't want them to call you back, you basically can be able to chat with them online. So I will really, really suggest that strongly recommend that whoever is going through such bullying in schools, they can go to Childline South Africa.
Okay. And Zakhele, why is it so difficult for people living with disabilities to secure employment? And what kind of projects does your foundation embark on to ensure that those people living with disabilities are work ready?
Yes. So as a foundation, we have a program that is called Work Readiness Program, and I will tell you why we've developed a program of work readiness, because especially in our culture, like in Black people, when you have a child with disability, what happens? You tend to hide your child in the backyard because it's actually deemed as that. It's deemed as it's a curse or you are bewitched. So now imagine this child who has been hidden all her life or his life, in the back room, and then has to go to schooling and has to go to a school of persons with disability. Now, how do you expect this child to transition into the workspace? It's really, really difficult. So what we have actually done as a company is that with our work readiness program, we make sure that we teach you exactly how to type a CV. We teach you exactly how to conduct yourself in an interview. We also teach you exactly how to conduct yourself in the workplace. Also to work on yourself as a person, that as a person with disability, it's not that we are doing a special favor, but you do count in this big economy system of South Africa. So those are the things that we do, and they've really, really worked tremendously. We've done it for various corporates, and the buy-in has been really, really good.
Okay. Zakhele, great chatting to you, man. I wish we had all day to speak about this particular issue, but we do appreciate your thoughts and your analysis on this matter.
Thank you so much, Simpiwe.
All right.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe we can have a chat next time. Who knows?
All right, do have a great day, Zakhele. We just spoke to the founder of Modern Centric Holdings, Zakhele Mgobhozi, on giving back to the community and inspiring people living with disabilities.